This is a 2018 Chevy Impala, and I'm going to show you how I installed a 10,000 watt car audio system. And excuse me if it's a little bit windy out here, okay? Right now what you guys are looking at is the engine bay area. And as you notice, there is no battery under here. That's because I did a battery delete up front and I put everything in the rear. Now I am thinking about building a battery to put up here, or maybe just put another AGM under here. But for right now, all my battery is in the rear because I got a 96 amp hour lithium battery bank back there, and it does me wonderfully. So I don't need it. And I also have a 320 amp alternator, high output alternator by MechMan in here as well. If you guys want to see video on how I install that, go look through the channels. I may put a pop-up on the screen, so just look in the corner of the screen and you guys will see where to go and click and do that. This fuse, even though it looks a bit dingy right now, has been underneath this hood for over 3 years. Never gave me any issues. Okay, you're gonna need something like that. That's a 300 amp fuse that you're gonna need because of the current draw. But just know that if you have your battery close enough to your amplifier, you should never see 300 amps under the hood with a 10,000 watt system. All right, so let's move on. As you guys can see here, there are 4 grounds connected to this negative cable. 4, because I did the big 4 upgrade. Upgraded the factory ground. It was originally, I believe, a 2 gauge wire. This is 0 gauge now. Everything else is 0 gauge. You got engine block, you have alternator, and you have, okay, those are your big 4 upgrades. Upgrade everything. Also the power wire running to the alternator is also 0 gauge. Upgrade everything. You're gonna need that if you're gonna be pulling this kind of power. One thing about me is that unless you pop the trunk of my car, my vehicle, you'll never know that this system was in here. First and foremost, I want to show you guys something. As a matter of fact, let's go back inside the car. This is not where we need to be right now. Let's start inside the car. What I want to show you guys about this car is the head unit. All right. Okay, so as you guys can tell, this car comes with a touchscreen head unit. This is an 8-inch display. I love this car radio. Could it be better? Yeah, it's old. You know, this thing is like, at this point, it's showing a bit of its age. It's 6 years old. But for me, it does the job. It has everything that I need. If I go into the menu right here, you got tone settings. It even got a little, you know, little equalizer right here for your different music. You got different music types. This is pretty standard. Nothing to write home about, correct? But I don't want to lose the functionality of what's already here in the car. So the questions become, how do I upgrade the sound in the car without, you know, interfering much with what already is here in the car, things that I already like about it. Like my steering wheel controls. I want to keep all this stuff, right? So a way that you can do this is by purchasing a device like what I got from Pack Audio. I'm going to show you that now. Down here in the passenger side kick, there is a device underneath this carpet that allows me to tap into this system right here. It allows me to tap into the unfiltered raw input that goes out of this radio before it travels to the rear, to the factory amplifier. I tap into that, I capture all of that raw data, and then I can manipulate it by sending it to whatever I want to, whether that be an amplifier or a DSP. And next I'm gonna go to the trunk and show you how I got everything set up. In the rear, you see that there is a DSP right here. That is the Dayton Audio 408 DSP. That means it has 4 inputs that are on this side coming from the packed audio device, and then it has 8 outputs in which you can manipulate however you want to. So what I did is I captured those 4 inputs, ran them into the DSP, and then from there, these outputs goes to different amplifiers that I want for my car audio system. Since there are 4 door speakers, these 4 right here goes to the amplifier for my 4 door speakers. That amplifier is an Amps DS440x4. That's the amplifiers for my door speakers. And as you guys can see, it has 4 inputs. And then you have an additional, on channel 8, there's another output that I'm using for my subwoofer amplifier. That is the Amps 8 Bass K. That's a smart 8 bass amplifier. And what it is powering is this low profile enclosure right here. This low profile enclosure houses 4 8-inch subwoofers. But before we get to that, I want to show you guys my door speakers. One of my main objectives of installing door speakers is to be as discreet as possible. I wanted a factory look when I installed the door speakers. And the only thing that indicates that there are aftermarket speakers in the doors are the tweeters. That's the only telltale sign that you see that there may be aftermarket speakers inside this vehicle. Other than that, no one would ever know unless they turn on the system. Here's a closer look at the tweeter. But of course, inside those doors are NVX's most premium 6x9 component speakers, and they sound amazing. If you guys want to see more on those speakers, I'll leave another video that you can go and click on right up here in the corner, and it'll show you what those speakers sound like. Okay, so now I want to introduce you guys to the subwoofers that I have here in the car. These are B2 Audio Rampage series 8-inch subwoofers, and I have 4 of them. I pulled a 145 dBs from this system right here, fresh out of the box. I haven't even metered them since. And that's before the break-in. And keep in mind, guys, that's coming from a trunk. Pulling a 145 with 8-inch subwoofers is very hard to do if you don't know what you're doing. But in my case, I know what I'm doing because I use science to build my box. I don't go off a whim. And I wanted a low profile enclosure to be more specific. I'm not gonna take up all my trunk for nothing because I need to get groceries in there. I do a lot of traveling. I wanna put my bags in there. So with a little bit of science, you can actually get a box such as this and pull a 145 out of it. Hertz. That's the frequency that we're going to do our test at, 37 Hertz. All right, we have it reset at 37 Hertz. Starting there, and we're going to see how much we can get out of this thing. All right, 37 Hertz. God damn. God damn. 7,386 watts at 1.2 ohms of impedance. Good God. Those things were moving. I did not expect that. That's a 143.9 in the kick. That was amazing, man. So I'm gonna bump it up to 38 hertz. This is amazing. Did you see the excursion on them? God damn. All right, everything's reset. We're at 38 hertz. Let's see what it does here. 38 hertz. Damn. Whoo, man. Okay, 7,128 watts at 1.2 ohms of impedance. 38 hertz. 143.9. Let's try 35 hertz. Cause it hit the low end like none other, man. All right, we got everything reset. 35 hertz. Here we go. Damn. Whew. That's crazy, man. 144.5. 144.5. These are low-end monsters, man. Low-end monsters. I love it. I love them. They don't even bottom out or nothing. Whoever designed these knew what they were doing. That's 6,642 watts at 1.3 ohms of impedance. These things sound amazing. They play everything. I'm gonna play y'all some music. They play everything. And man, look, worth every damn dime.